Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Today, let me see. I'm just going to wait for a little bit for everybody to come in. In the meantime, please let me know what you've been reading. How are you? What are we reading this March? Hello. Hi, Laura. Hello. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I hope you guys survived the week well. Hello. Hi, Kumbu. Hi, Zawande. Hi, Ponto. Hello. Happy Friday. So, today I'm reading from, it's on the title. Let me just also pin it. Hi Toby, hello everybody. Thank you for joining me today for another live book reading. Hi, happy Friday. Hi Marina. Okay, so I asked everybody what they're reading in the meantime while everybody's coming in, and Zoe says I'm currently reading Unfuck Yourself, Unfuck the World by Kagiso Msimango. Okay, how are you finding that? I haven't read anything by Kagiso in a while. I do have two of her books here somewhere, the first two books here somewhere. Hi, what are you guys reading? It's a new month. Let me show you before we start reading this. Let me show you what I'm reading. Oh, I'm actually listening to the audiobook as well. I think I prefer it that way. A Girl, Woman, Other by Bernardine Evaristo. And yeah, I'm taking it very slow. Like I keep on going back. I'm like, because it's actually for the Harare Book Club. They started this week, so I'll be reading this, but I listen to the audio as well, which is much nicer. So I'm reading and listening. So yeah, but on Goodreads I mark it as reading the book, not the audiobook. And then I am buddy reading Bing Lily by Carnita Loxton. This is the second book in the series. Last month, February, we read Being Kari. And the third one is Being Shirley, which is the one that I read first. So they can be standalone actually. So yeah, and Laura says I have so many to read and they're busy piling up. Just bought Amanda's Baked in Pain. Yo, like my current picture on the timeline is of another book haul of books that I'd been getting last year, and they finally arrived. So Laura, I get you. Like hectic. At least the collection is growing, even though we're not able to read or find the time to read. So I'm going to read Cheluchi's bio, and then I'll start reading from The Son of the House. Cheluchi Onyemelukwe-Onuobia was born in 1978 in Nigeria. And she is a lawyer and academic who has done much advocacy work on issues such as violence against women, girls, and health. She holds a doctorate in law from Dalhousie University in Canada and often advises international organizations. An earlier draft of The Son of the House was long listed in Miss Lexia's novel writing competition, and she currently lives in Lagos, Nigeria. So I got this book at Bargain Books for $70 last year during the crazy lockdown sales. Like, guys, yeah. So maybe check Bargain Books or Book Circle Capital, Afroculture. That's where you can find a copy. I'm gonna read the back of the book, and yeah. Oh, the back of the book also has a bio that says she divides her time between Lagos, Nigeria, and Halifax, Canada. And she works in the areas of health, gender violence against women and children, and other social issues. Okay, cool. In the city of Enugu in the 1970s, young Nwabulu dreams of becoming a typist as she endures her employer's endless chores. Although a housemaid since the age of 10, she is tall and beautiful and in love with a rich man's son. Educated and privileged, Julie is a modern woman living on her own. She's happy to collect the gold jewelry love-struck Eugene brings her, but has no intention of becoming his second wife. When dramatic events straight out of a movie force Nwabulu and Julie into a dank room years later, the two women relate the stories of their lives as they await their fate. Pulsing with vitality and intense human drama, Cheluchi's debut is set against 4 decades of vibrant Nigeria and celebrates the resilience of women as they navigate and transform what remains a man's world. So, I like the cover. That's how it looks like at the back. So my copy, you can also get it on Amazon. I think, yes, it is on Amazon. So I'm going to read the prologue, which is dated 2011. And then we'll see how far we go. Because chapter 1 starts at 1972. But I'm going to read a little bit of the prologue just to give you a snippet of the book. I have it as one of my TBRs that, like, guys, I'm going to stop buying books. And I'm going to stop being gifted books. Anyway, okay, so the prologue is dated 2011. We must do something to pass the time, I thought. 2 women in a room, hands and feet tied up. Tied. I could not see how we could escape. Both our legs and hands were still tied up in knots that I could not imagine getting free if I had another 100 years. Even if we managed to get free of the knots, there was only one door out of the small room. I heard the click of a padlock every time they came and went. The only window could not fit one of my thighs, let alone my entire body. Nor could I run to save my life, even if I was not so heavy. There was the matter of my bad knees. There would be no breakout like one saw in the movies. We did not entertain the idea that the police might save us, guns blazing as happened in the movies. The police themselves, people said, would sometimes tell the family of kidnapped persons to go pay the ransom so that harm would not come to their loved one. They had neither the resources nor the serious desire to pursue kidnappers. There was even speculation that the police might be complicit in some kidnappings. So our only hope, like many kidnapping victims in this country, was that our people would come up with the money. At first, fear had overwhelmed me. I struggled with them in the car as they tried to put a blindfold over my eyes, as they tried to tie those same hands with which I tried to punch. I felt claustrophobic, my ample body squeezed into a space I could not have fit into even as a teenager in secondary school. I was going to die. with a gun dug into my back as the car sped in a direction that I could not determine. I felt certain I was going to die. Afam, my son, his wedding, what would he do? I had now gone past that visceral and obvious fear to a quietened and more sensible state. There was nothing the ears had ever heard to make them fall off, or the eyes had seen that would make them weep blood instead of tears. Perhaps we would get out alive, like other people I had heard of. At least they had taken off our blindfolds. My friend Obiageli had told me of a man whose blindfold was left on for 11 days. Imagine 11 days of darkness and blindness. Once they took off our blindfolds and untied our hands, the situation became more bearable. They fed us white bread in the morning, white bread in the afternoon, white bread at night. At home, I did not eat white bread. I only ate whole wheat bread on occasion. I needed to watch my blood sugar, the doctor had told me, because I was pre-diabetic. And since my father had died of diabetes, I knew that the genes were conspiring against me, and it was up to me to stop them from winning. Oh. Hello. So I complained this morning when they brought some more bread, white bread. They asked if I thought this was a hotel. Mummy, if your people do not come up with the money soon, that young boy said in his deceptively soft voice, you might stop eating at all. Where do you think the money to buy this bread is coming from? His voice rose in anger. It was the first time he had shown any emotion. I'm sorry, I said, feeling like a spoiled child who had just been chastised. I knew better now than to add the other things on the list I had made in my head. The room was hot and sticky. People with extra flesh like me tended to sweat a lot. Without a bath, that would make me and the room smell. Could we at least have some time to bathe, clean our teeth? Could our legs be untied? Sitting in one position and lying with tied legs could not be the best thing for two women, especially one already down the old age road. Also, it was really uncomfortable to hold in your pee, especially for a woman my age, whose insides had shifted and moved from where the Creator originally placed them. Further, it was not right that they should follow so closely when a person wanted to relieve herself. They were nearly young enough to be my grandchildren, if I had had kids at the age some of my mates did. And I kept hearing a cat mew at night, and it made goose pimples stand out on my body. Could they do something about that? Finally, could you please not call me Mummy? I'm not your mother. You would not treat your mother this way. At least I hoped so. I told them, I am hypertensive. I need my medication. Can anything be done about this? Anything like what? He asked me. It was a rhetorical question. His voice and face said that I was stepping over invisible bounds. What you should focus on is praying that your people come through with our money. With that, he swiveled round and was gone, leaving his leg keys to run after him and lock the door on us. I looked at Nwabulu now. Our mouths were free so we could talk, and we needed to pass the time. So, tell me more about yourself, I said, trying to encourage her. Here we are, with time on our hands. She looked surprised. That was not what she expected to hear in such a place, it seemed. But what else could we do? After spending the first day bemoaning our fate, the wrong decisions that had landed us there was really nothing much to say about kidnapping. We are stuck together here for only God knows how long. And as my friend Obiageli says, there is nothing like a good story to help pass the time. Nwabulu seemed reluctant still. Her stylish scarf had been torn off her head and her weave needed brushing. There was a slight bruise on her arm, yet she remained pretty, her face serious. Ifechi must be worried, I said, but I know he will be doing what he can. Yes, she said, but we do not have much money. I hope they're not asking for too much money. I hoped so too. I thought about what Afam had said about Nigeria, what brought him back from Canada, where I thought he might settle down to make a life after school. Nigeria was growing, booming, he said. Lots of opportunities, a growing middle class, emerging sectors. Not just the oil and gas people. Look at the telecommunications industry, the banking sector, the music industry. Nigerian musicians collaborating with Western ones and making enough money to buy private jets. Internet, even in the villages. People marching on, with or without electricity, with or without good leadership. Making money, changing lives. But there was also kidnapping. I wanted to tell him now, and it was an easy way to make money. A few people had been killed. Mostly, however, people were released after stupendous amounts of money had been extorted from their families. Kidnapping used to be like something out of the folklore that we had heard as children, that people were kidnapped and sold into slavery. Some said it was unemployment that was driving the kidnapping trade. If more young people were employed, kidnapping would die a natural death. Some said it was greed. I had never been hungry enough to threaten anyone with a gun. To threaten to take away lives because mine was unbearable. I wondered what that felt like. We had no way of knowing if our people were getting the money. Our people, I thought. Hearing the boy leader's voice in my head. Who were my people? My people were Obiageli and Afam. My sisters would wring their hands, but they would do nothing. My youngest brother would shrug his shoulders and carry on with whatever petty trade would support his marijuana habit. Obiageli would be terrified, beside herself with worry, but she would pull herself together and get Afam to get the money. And Afam, he had a good head on his shoulders. Between the two of them, they would manage something. I tried to imagine their fear, and I thought about the fear that I would have if Afam were kidnapped. I wished we could tell them that we were being treated well, considering. I'm sure that they're doing what they can, I told Nwabulu now. I'm sorry I took that road, she said again. I was almost starting to feel guilty that I had asked for that lift. My visit to Obiageli's could have waited. I should have gone through Otigba Junction, said Nwabulu. This would never have happened in that busy place. She had said so over and over. But here we were. What was the use of going over what ifs and should haves? It is not your fault, I said. I am the one they wanted. It was just bad luck that you got caught up in it. They should have police on that road. It is lonely. People could be robbed there or kidnapped. I smiled. She did not smile back. She shook her head and looked at her feet. What is done, I said. A truism we had learned at girls' high school, ABBA. And then, unable to resist, I added, no use crying over spilled milk. She smiled now, a tentative smile. So you were going to tell me how you got into the fashion business? You are really good, you know. It is a long story. Hey Henry. Hello, Madame Belle. Hi everybody. Are you rushing off anywhere? I looked around me theatrically. She laughed. But Ma, I'm sure your story is more interesting than mine. You have lived an interesting life, I am sure. She seemed genuinely interested. Okay, let us make a deal. You tell me yours, and I will tell you mine. She was a businesswoman through and through, I thought. Okay, I agreed. I began my story. Her emotions flitted across her face. Puzzlement, agreement, even disapproval. But in the end, it was Nwabulu's story that ignited the fire. Wow. Okay, that is a very intriguing prologue from House that now I was about to say House of Sun, The Son of the House by, I don't want to butcher her name, Cheluchi Onyemelukwe-Onuobia. Yeah. So that was today's reading, guys. So there is Nwabulu, who seems to be older, and her son is about to get married, and she's been kidnapped. I feel like I'm getting a slow down of sound or something, but yeah, I'm gonna continue. So Nwabulu is older, and they've been kidnapped with Julie, who is a more educated and privileged, and she's like, you know, living her life, and then she gets kidnapped with Nwabulu. So that was the prologue from this book, The Son of the House. I don't know if the same author has released any more work after this one, because this was published in it was published in 2019 by Penguin. So this is her debut. Yeah. So this is set against 4 decades of vibrant Nigeria and celebrates the resilience of women as they navigate and transform what remains a man's world. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope you have a great reading weekend. I am, within 2 books, no, 2 books, yes, because I'm listening to Girl, Woman, Other, so that counts as 1, and then I'm reading Being Lily as part of my buddy reading with Charity Matala of Booked on Charity here on Instagram and Simule. So we are buddy reading this series, and yeah, this month we're reading Being Lily. Last month we read Being Kari, which was the first one with the bikini cover, and this is the author. So that is my South African reading that I'm doing, and yeah, this is actually a series of 3. We're waiting for the 4th one because there's 4 friends. Okay, there's more than 4, but I think the last one will be the final one. Beautiful women themed story literature. So yeah, guys, I will see you next week Friday at 5 o'clock. Please remember, today was just a technical difficulty. That's why I started 30 minutes later than normal. I normally read from 5 p.m. on Fridays. So next week Friday, today's what? Friday the 12th. Next week is Friday the 19th. I will see you then. This is going to be saved on IGTV, and I will download it and add it onto the YouTube channel. And guys, if you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. Thank you. It is a Bookamoso book club across all platforms. Bookamoso.co.za on the website. There's content there as well. There's reviews, there's interviews, there's everything. And on Facebook, Instagram, well, obviously Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Bookamoso book club. So yeah, please subscribe. Thank you, guys. I hope you have a great, safe weekend. Please mask up if you go out. Like, stay safe. The virus is not gone. The 3rd wave is about to come. So please be safe. Tell your people to be safe. Stay home. If you don't have to go anywhere, don't go anywhere. Like, treat it like a real lockdown. But yeah, that was today's reading of The Son of the House. I will see you next week, Friday the 19th. Thank you guys for joining me. Let me see. Hello. Let me see who's still here. Okay. Thank you guys. I will see you. Bye.